Hi, Lisa. So we're seeing a lot of damage, but first I want to talk about the problems that we're seeing as well. There's no water and there's no power here, and cell service is incredibly limited. So for homes like this here that have a lot of damage, there's a lot of issues. I want to walk you back. We have permission to be on this property. The homeowner, Robbie, invited us on, and he said, yes, come see exactly what happened. Look at this. You can see the front portion of his home during the earthquake early this morning completely collapsed. This is essentially the little awning, or not little, excuse me, the large awning that was above his front door and his front porch that completely fell off of the foundation. In fact, as we bring the camera up, you can see where it used to be. I mean, this is at least 30 feet wide here. It's a large, large chunk of that home. This is just one example of many. We've been driving through Rio Dell today, and there's some homes that are red tagged and yellow tagged. This home right now, the homeowner tells us, authorities told him it's safe to be inside. You can be inside, but yeah, you want to be careful outside. At the very latest count, we know there's 15 homes, at least here in Rio Dell, that have been red tagged. When a home is red tagged, that means it's not safe for someone to live there. It's not safe for you to go inside. There's water, there's gas, there's maybe changes to the foundation, maybe walls fell down. So at least 15 homes dealing with that, and we know plenty of other homes like this one are yellow tagged. That essentially means we see some damage. It's okay if you sleep there tonight, but you want to be really careful because we're feeling aftershocks. In fact, we were just with law enforcement for a press conference. As soon as that press conference began, maybe 1 or 2 minutes in, we felt an aftershock, and it was pretty strong. It lasted maybe 1 or 2 seconds. So far, since the earthquake just this morning, there have been 50 to 80 aftershocks in this area, the largest right here in Rio Dell that was a 4.6 magnitude. So if you think about an aftershock in homes that are like this, that already have foundational issues where chunks of that home came down, you're going to see some larger problems. Out here live, just kind of driving around speaking to people, a lot of families have been up since early this morning. A lot of them woke up to damage. In fact, this homeowner, he said he had no idea this whole chunk of his home came off until he came outside. He said the earthquake was so loud that when he was trying to figure out what exactly was going on, he couldn't hear anything because glass was breaking. He could feel the earth shaking. It wasn't until he looked out that front window where he saw the front of the home had come down. So again, this is just an example. We know there's at least 15 homes like this, but we do expect that number to grow because so far authorities have only gotten through half of the homes here in Rio Dell. At this point, they said they think they should survey all of the homes by midday tomorrow. And at that point, they expect at least 100, 150 people to be totally displaced from their homes. At this point, though, we asked about some shelters for folks here. We know Robbie, he said he's good to sleep inside. Authorities said that was fine, too. But for others, because this is a small community, you have Ferndale, you have Rio Dell. A lot of these folks are generational families who have lived here for a long time, so a lot of them have family and friends nearby. They said there's really only been 2 to 3 people at this point that they've either put in a hotel or they're going to help them get a motel somewhere. So really just an example of a community coming together. And Robbie said it best himself. I kind of asked him, what are you going to do next? And he just said, figure it out. He's just grateful that he wasn't injured, that his daughter wasn't injured, but just an example of what's going on here. Folks really want water and they want power, and we know that those probably aren't coming anytime soon. Water could take 24 to 48 hours. Power could be by tonight, but being realistic, just because we know there's issues with some transmission lines, that may not happen tomorrow. But again, we're thankful to this homeowner who's letting us be on the property to kind of just show you an example of what's going on. And we'll be live here all night kind of telling you as conditions change, as injury numbers may grow, they expect them to. It's a really changing situation out here when you have a natural disaster. You see everyone coming together and trying their best to report all of that data to us. So as soon as we have some more updates, we'll make sure that you update you here on the air.
Yeah, as you said, Brittany, a very fluid situation right now. And yes, thankful that they are alive, the people who live there, because we know that there have been 2 deaths related to this earthquake. The Office of Emergency Services says the area has felt up to 80 aftershocks. Water main breaks have cut running water to some parts of Humboldt County, as Brittany mentioned. And Cal OES says this is an example of the importance of having a plan.
We live in earthquake country. This is another example of the fact that earthquakes can occur at any time without notice. And so it's really important that we as Californians have a plan, have a family plan. We have some supplies. in case we lose power, like they have done there, or in case we have to, we can't have our refrigerators don't work, or whatever the case, we've got some supplies that we can take care of ourselves or our family for a few days.
Here's a look at the power outages along the coast right now. You can see areas in Eureka and Arcata are still without power. Lots of areas of red and orange there. People are dealing without some of those necessities.
And now we want to share some video of the earthquake damage. This is from Caroline Titus. She's the publisher and editor of the Ferndale Enterprise, and she said her home, that's what we're showing you here, is a 140-year-old Victorian-style home, and the shaking is evident in what fell everywhere. As you can see, it's a little bit dark, but you can see a lot came off those shelves, including her coffee station. So that was in Ferndale. We're also seeing the impacts in Eureka. Take a look at this video from inside a grocery store in that area, and you can see the store shelves just dumped everything on the ground here. And interestingly enough, this earthquake is quite the coincidence. Listen to this. A quake of nearly the exact same size struck in nearly the exact same place exactly 1 year ago today. How unreal is that? This is video of damage at Ferndale's historic gingerbread mansion. Antique paintings, photos, and lamps fell and shattered. And there were cracks in the ceiling. That quake was a 6.2 magnitude. Today's was a 6.4. And that previous earthquake was at a depth of 5 miles, which was much closer to the surface than today's quake.